Join me as I fly on an inaugural flight on one of America's newest airlines, Avelo. We'll fly from Concord, North Carolina, near Charlotte, to Wilmington, Delaware, to just find out if this is America's best low-cost carrier. Welcome to this week's video. Well, good morning from Charlotte, North Carolina, and particularly the residents in Charlotte City Center. We're going to do something that I've wanted to do for a long time, an inaugural flight. An inaugural flight is when an airline serves a city for the first time, and Avelo Airlines is doing just that tonight. Tonight, we're going to be flying from the Charlotte area up to Wilmington, Delaware. With that, I think it's time to bid downtown Charlotte farewell and head on over to the airport, but not the one that you're probably thinking of when you fly out of the Charlotte area. Let me explain. Avelo, like many low-cost carriers, tend to use smaller regional airports instead of big hub airports. So instead of using Charlotte Douglas Airport here, they use the Concord Paget Regional Airport located about 10 miles north of the city. Since I didn't have a car, I took the light rail to the University Boulevard stop, then took the 54 bus to the Concord Mills Mall. After eating dinner and spending some time in the mall, I then called a very short Lyft ride, which only cost about $8, over to the airport to save on the $30 it would have cost me to take a Lyft directly from the city. Arriving at the airport, you literally go through woods just to get there, but I think that's what makes Concord special. And welcome to the Concord Paget Regional Airport. Walking inside, we can see that it's really small and intimate, which I really like. And good evening from Concord Paget Regional Airport here in Concord, North Carolina. We're about 10 miles north of Charlotte, and like I said, it wouldn't be where you expected tonight. The flight is now running 2 hours late, apparently a mechanical issue with the aircraft. Me and mechanical issues just don't go too well, because the last time I had one, I was delayed in Atlantic City for 6 hours on Spirit, and the time before that, I was canceled in, of all places, Las Vegas. Anyway, in just a minute, we'll head through TSA and get airside. Inside the secured area of the airport, we find that there's a lot of spaces to sit and wait for your planes. There is 2 gates here. We will be flying from gate number 2 tonight.
Good afternoon, passengers. It has been brought to my attention that Avelo has free cupcakes over in the center, over in the middle.
So, we just got an update. Our plane is going to be leaving an hour earlier, which is fantastic. And what I just showed you is something that's really neat. They're going to be setting up for what's called a water cannon salute. It's when an airline flies into the destination for the first time. So what they'll do is they'll send the fire trucks out to spray the aircraft down with water. I didn't expect them to do this at night, but it's going to be even better. On the other gate, we can see an Allegiant Airbus A320 loading its passengers for Punta Gorda, Florida. And hello, Avelo. Here comes our aircraft arriving from Wilmington. And there's our aircraft. Taking us to Delaware this evening is November 801 X-Ray Tango, a 17-year-old Boeing 737-800, originally delivered to Turkish Airlines in September of 2007. Another neat thing about Concord is that you get to walk out to the plane via a ramp. This can be bad during weather, but tonight it's a humid November evening, so it's perfect for this. On board, we see that all seats are laid out in a 3-3 arrangement.
Good evening, again, and welcome aboard Avelo Flight 575. We're happy to have you on board with us today on our flight to Wilmington, Delaware.
Delaware, we're all set up front. We'll close the door here in just a minute. Once we get airborne, it's a very quick and tight 62 minutes of flying time, 49,000 feet. It's going to be a smooth ride.
The fasten seatbelt sign and no smoking sign placards throughout the cabin, and regulations require customer compliance with following information signs, posted placards.
It will be a very quick taxi today as the terminal building is almost directly at the end of the runway. This evening, we will be taking off on runway 2, heading towards the north. Now let's take a look at the amenities of the seat. Above you, you'll find individual air vents and reading lights. Below the seat, in the pocket, you'll find an ad for the airline's credit card, as well as the safety information card. Coming up onto the seat, you'll find that there's a full-size tray table. You can really tell that this used to be a mainline aircraft. Closing the tray table, we then test the recline of the seat. Yes, the seats recline on a low-cost carrier. Shocking. And the recline is actually pretty good. The seats are pretty well padded too, so it is really comfortable. Now let's take a look at the restroom on board the flight. This restroom is tight and small, but remains spotless throughout the whole flight.
Attendant to Wilmington, and we'll be landing soon. We ask that everyone please remain seated and be sure your seatbelts securely fastened for the remainder of the flight.
So, as we come into land, my final thoughts. Do I think that this is America's best low-cost carrier? Yes and no. I do think that this is the best airline if you compare them with like Spirit, Frontier, and Allegiant, because the seats actually recline, you get a tremendous amount of legroom, and it's a great experience. Now take it, there is no snacks or drinks served on any of Avelo's flights, so just know to bring that. Do I think that Avelo is better than Southwest or JetBlue? No. The perks you get on those two airlines, like the free Wi-Fi, live TV, 2 checked bags with Southwest, I just don't think Avelo can beat it. But if you're picking between Avelo and Spirit, go for it, because Avelo will give you a much better experience. Now, let's talk cost. For this flight, I paid $41. I also paid $12 to pick my seat, which turned out being the best option because I got a whole row to myself at the window, which was fantastic. Now we're coming into land. Enjoy our landing on ILG's runway 1.
like to welcome you all to Wilmington, Delaware. We will be taxiing for the next few minutes. For your safety, please remain seated with your seatbelt fastened and carry on items stored until the aircraft has come to a complete stop and the fasten seatbelt sign has been turned off. From all of us here at Avelo, we thank you for flying with us today and we look forward to having you in another flight soon. Thank you. Enjoy the rest of your night.
And welcome to Wilmington. Surprisingly, we called up time in the air as well. We only landed in Wilmington about 40 minutes late, which was fantastic, being that this flight was supposed to be 2 hours late when I first got the notification. As with North Carolina, Wilmington is the same. You exit the plane on a ramp and walk to the terminal. However, this is a much longer walk and is not covered, so just bear that in mind if you fly out of Wilmington. Before we go into the terminal and wrap up the video, let's take a look at the next trip report video for the channel, which is premiering very soon. Amtrak's Acela Express. Amtrak's Northeast Regional. Two of Amtrak's most popular trains that use the same tracks, the Northeast Corridor. But which one is better? Well, we'll put them both to the test to find out. We'll travel from Wilmington, Delaware to Washington, D.C. on board the Acela Express before returning on the Northeast Regional to find out which one is a better value for your time and money. And as like North Carolina, that's it. Wilmington Airport is another small regional airport. To your right is the main waiting area with about enough seats for a plane load of passengers. Coming through the door, you hit the main ticketing area. And with that, I think it's time to head home. Thank you so much for watching. God bless, and I'll see you next time.